Cooper and I'm from Beyond Books with the Clydes. Today, my dad's teaching me how to restore and clean cast iron pots and pans.
3, 2, 1.
We have a skillet and a Dutch oven. This is this cast iron skillet and the rust. And here's the Dutch oven.
Hi, I'm Wade Clyde. I'm the dad. So I'm going to teach Cooper how to restore and season these cast iron pans again. First off, what we're going to need are the following. I like to use this wire brush. It's a cut brush. It's a 3-inch wire brush. We put that on our drill. Cooper's going to grab his drill here in a minute. And we like to use the wire brushes to make things go a little faster. If you don't have a drill or a wire brush, that's okay. We also can use steel wool. This is a copper steel wool. You can use this or the regular steel wool. And then also a regular 3M kind of scratch pad, or like a dish scratch pad that we use for dishes. Also, want to grab some vinegar. So this is we just went to our hardware store to grab all this stuff. This is a cleaning vinegar. You can just use regular vinegar as well, anything that's going to be acidic enough to cut through this rust. So these are the supplies that we need to get started. So let's get started. Okay, so since we're going to be using the drill with the wire brush attached, we're going to want to use our safety glasses just because there could be some stuff flying around. We want to keep our eyes safe. So really we're just trying to get the big chunks and as much rust off as we can with this process, making the next process a little simpler. So all we're doing is just going and taking this and just trying to get down to the down through the layers of rust with this before we go to the next step. All right. Try it. Okay, hold on.
Fine.
Yeah, no. All right, go ahead. Careful. Put it out. Okay, put it back on there softly. Keep going. Careful, here comes it. I do that out. In there. Thumbs up. Okay. Show us the top of the lid. Good. And now show us the inside of the skillet. Nice. Okay, now that we have most of the rust sanded out with the wire brush, again the steel wool or these Scotch pads, we've got the majority of the rust off. A lot of the big chunks are off. Now it's kind of inside the grain of the cast metal or the cast iron. And so what we have to do now is give it a vinegar bath. And so what we're going to do is find a container. We're probably going to use our kitchen sink, monopolize it for a few hours. But it's 1 part vinegar to 1 part water. So I have a gallon of vinegar here. I'm going to use a gallon of vinegar and a gallon of water. And I'm going to soak these cast iron skillets and Dutch oven for probably a couple hours on these. The more rusty they are, the more time it's going to need. So you could even do overnight if it's really bad. If it's really light, maybe an hour. Since these were somewhat heavy, but we were able to get a ton off with this grinder, with this wheel, this wire wheel. Now it's just got the fine rust left. So what we're going to do is probably do a 2-3 hour soak, and then we'll come back and show you the next step. Okay, here we are in our kitchen. We've got the Dutch oven in the kitchen sink. Cooper wants to use the Dutch oven first, so we're going to go one at a time here. And we're going to put 1 part vinegar to 1 part water. So I'm going to do a gallon of vinegar, and then I'm going to follow it up with a gallon of water. Okay. And we'll fill this gallon up with water. All right, now that that's full, we're going to add the gallon of water into the vinegar to dilute it 1 to 1. Okay, a little bit full over the sides. So we've got the drain in, so everything on the bottom is going to get hit with the vinegar water as well. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to let this sit for a couple hours and let the acid in the vinegar do its thing on the rust. And then we will probably empty the water and do it on the outside of it as well. And then we'll use the same water to do the skillet. And then when we get all of the cast iron done with the vinegar, we will go on to the next step. Okay guys, it's been a couple hours now that it's been in this vinegar bath. And so what we're going to do is we're going to pull the lid. You can see it's pretty much ate up all of the rust that's on it. And for the final bit, we're going to take just some pure baking soda. This will help to neutralize the acid, and then we'll be able to scrub, final scrub, with the scrubber. So what we're going to do is we're just going to sprinkle liberally here. Just kind of getting some fizzy action because of the vinegar that's in there. I'm going to take the steel wool. We're going to take the steel wool that we've got now. We're just going to get it wet a little bit. And we're going to just get a little water on there. And we're really just kind of getting every last bit of rust that's left. You can just see it's still pulling some of that rust up. You don't want to seal rust in because that'll permanently be there. We want to get every last little bit of rust out before we season it, so that we're not having to mess with that down the road. Pretty much all the rust is off of this now. We've got it down to the bare metal. So the next step, we're going to do this to the rest of the pans, and then the next step was actually going to be re-seasoning it, where we're going to put oil back on it, heat it up, seal in that oil so that essentially the pores of this cast iron get sealed up again and become waterproof. Okay guys, we are back. We have sanded down all the rust. We have given it a vinegar bath. We've done a baking soda scrub. Now we have dried off this completely. Want to make sure that's 100% dry. You can put it in the oven or on a cooktop to heat it up so that it will actually evaporate all the water. So this has been dried 100%. Next stage is actually starting the seasoning process. And so the seasoning process, what we do is we actually coat it with an oil. In this instance, we actually have some pig lard from a pig that we processed earlier this year. We kept the lard, and this is actually what we're going to be seasoning our cast iron with. So we're here with Cooper and his friend Taylor. They're going to actually take the lard, they're going to melt it in their hands, and they're going to start rubbing it all over this cast iron lid. And then we're going to do the same thing with everything else, but we wanted to shoot a video before it got too dark out and before these two had to go to bed. So here we are. Do you guys want to show us how to oil it all up?
Sure.
Okay. Take some of that lard.
Like this much?
Yep.
Ew.
It's like lotion, huh?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Feels like lotion.
Like lotion.
Okay.
Soap.
Now that you got it all liquefied, you're gonna take it and just rub it all over this lid, right? If you need more, get more. As far as the fat or the oils you use, you can really use anything. Traditionally, it was always done with lard or tallow, and now, if they say if you don't use your cast iron a lot, especially if you're gonna store it or whatnot, animal fats can go rancid when they're just sitting without being used consistently. So I think now it's more, I guess, popular to use, I think, a flaxseed oil or other types of oils that aren't going to go rancid as quickly. But for us, we're going to use these. In fact, as soon as we're done, Cooper's going to use it in the morning, I think, to cook something. So what you got to do is make sure that 100% of it, all the top, the edges, the bottoms, all of it gets rubbed on.
These edges?
Okay, yep, even the edges. You can't leave any spot that hasn't been greased. So now turn it over and do the bottom. There you go. Bottom has little pokies, doesn't it? Yep. Make sure all those get done.
They're sharp.
Okay. Now once this is done, what we're going to do is we're going to take some paper towel and actually wipe off all of the excess. We want to make sure that this is 100% wiped down as best we can. All the oil has already gotten into the cracks, it's gotten into the pores of this metal. So we're going to wipe off the excess. And then what we do is we go in and we're going to put this in the oven. Once all of them are done, we're going to put it in the oven. What we'll do is turn it on to broil or 500 degrees. Stick these in the oven for about an hour. Now it may smoke. It may.
Hold on.
You gotta go.
Yeah, for a minute.
Okay, bye bye.
She might be back.
Okay. You want to help her get out?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna ask if I can come back.
Okay. All right, well, it looks like the street lights turned on, so Taylor had to go. Her mom's yelling for her across the street. But so what we're gonna do, we're gonna turn it on to about 500 degrees, get it on broil, stick these in. We're gonna leave them in there for an hour. It may start to smoke, it may put off an odor. That's normal, it happens. Once it is done, after about an hour, turn the oven off and just leave them in. Leave them in for another hour, hour and a half. Let them cool down naturally inside the oven. Once you've done that, your pans are seasoned and ready for use. Remember, when you're using cast iron, always to use oils and fats liberally when you're cooking, and also when you are finished, when you clean it off, try not to use soap or water. Try not to use soapy water when you clean it. Scrape it off, use water as best you can, dry it 100%, and then put another layer of this tallow or this lard on it to seal it in again. And then if you constantly do that and take care of it that way, your cast iron will last permanently. So anyway, thank you for joining us. Cooper, did you learn a lot?
Yeah.
Okay, this is gonna be pretty cool. We'll be able to use this in the morning on your other video. Cooper's doing another video right now of
Camping in my backyard.
camping in our backyard. What gets better than that? It'll take us a few more hours, so it'll be dark by the time we're done. But anyway, make sure that when you season it, 500 degrees in there for an hour, let it cool down naturally, just turn the oven off, come back in the morning, it'll be good to go. And then you can season it up in the morning. Anything else? All right, this is Beyond Books with the Clydes, signing off. Thank you.
All right, guys, it's this morning, and we baked them in the oven for an hour at broil or 500 degrees, and we let them sit all night and cool down in the oven. And these are how they turned out. Good as new. Now I'm gonna cook my eggs on the fire. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you on the next one.